Yeah.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Sony Simplified, the show where we give you tips and tricks to get the most out of your Sony products. I'm Matt, your host, along with my co-host Ken. Ken, how are you doing today?
Hey, doing well.
Awesome. So today we're going to be discussing portrait photography, why and how to get better portraits using Sony gear.
Right.
Ken, thanks for joining today.
Hey, Matt, thank you for allowing me along with the journey. And for those of you out there that have come back to see us, thanks for coming back. For those who are new, welcome. Come on in, the water's warm. Hey, by the way, please take an opportunity to like, subscribe, and scratch that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest content from Sony Simplified that we'll be bringing to you. And Matt, I believe that you've got some topics to talk about, do you not?
I do. Today's topics, as we kind of go over, we're going to go portrait photography with prime lenses, what they do and how they help, Sony's eye autofocus for both human and animals alike, and camera positioning, a great way to add emotion and a different sort of effect to your photography. All right, so next up, we want to talk about what we use to shoot a lot of these photos here today. That was with our Alpha 7 Mark IV and our Sony 85 to 1.8 lens. The benefit of this lens is it gives us a little bit of space between your subject and yourself. So that's why the 85 to 1.8, my personal favorite. I like to have a little bit of space between me and my subjects. Ken, what's your favorite focal length? What do you shoot with?
So Matt, I got to tell you, I've got some experience with the 50 millimeter focal length, sort of the nifty 50, if you will. But I tell you what, myself, as I'm sure as many of our viewers out there, are very intrigued about what you're going to bring to us about that 85 millimeter. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy the ride.
Awesome. And just keep an eye on the chat for me too, because I know that we have it live. And if you have any questions that we can answer throughout the process, we definitely will. Now, with what we have on the screen here, you have multiple focal lengths that you can choose from. You have 35 millimeter, 50 millimeter, 1.4 G Master, 135, and an 85 millimeter, and a new 85 millimeter G Master 2. Tons of different focal lengths. So the benefit of that is you can kind of find the lens that makes your photos personal to you and what you feel comfortable shooting with. Prime lenses have super low aperture, which creates that beautiful background blur, that bokeh look. And we have some examples of both Sony's, excuse me, we have some examples of some photos here using the 85 to 1.8. Now you'll notice up on the top right, top left where the hat is, your portraits don't have to be of a human or an animal. The nice thing about it is it can be an object as well. And you're able to focus in, get beautiful standout imagery with a wonderful background blur. Now, Ken, I know you have a personal favorite photo in this one. Want to talk about it?
I do. I really like the girl with the guitar. And the reason why I like that is using the 85 millimeter 1.8 allows her to be sort of front and center in the frame. It also produces a fantastic and natural bokeh in the background. So it really brings your eye to her, which was the intended subject in the first place. I really like that one.
I agree. And one of my favorite features of this photo is actually the hair, the wisp of hair that's kind of like flowing in the wind there. It's so nice. It really kind of shows that she was actually playing this guitar, that beautiful background bokeh of underneath the overpass there with that wisp of hair. I mean, it's just an amazing photo. Now, another photo we have coming up is the dragon photo, AKA the Kyoto photo. It rhymes, I didn't know. But anyways, you'll notice the focus is clearly on the dragon's eyes and its mouth here. You're able to get such immense detail because of Sony's eye autofocus and tracking. But with the 85 1.8, you have those classic orange temples in Kyoto, and you're able to get that orange background bokeh, beautiful buttery bokeh in an orange color there. I absolutely love it. It was one of my most favorite trips and probably one of my most favorite photos. Now, but before we move on to the next topic, Ken, do we have anything going on in the chat? I know you said we had some thumbs up there earlier. Has anyone
Yeah, Matt,
begun
we
to?
really do. We've got some great activity in the chat. Let me take an opportunity to call out. We've got Sandy that's joined us. Hey, Sandy, thanks for coming. Shannon, glad to have you back. Appreciate it. And we've got Rick. Rick says that I shoot 105 millimeter uh, in studio and a 50 millimeter outdoors. So that's pretty impressive. I'd love to know what that 105 does for you, Rick. That's
Sure.
pretty impressive. I like that. So we've
Thank,
got some prime shooters out there, that's for sure.
awesome. Thanks for the info, Rick. I really appreciate it too. All right. So next up, we have eye autofocus. Now, let's just talk a little bit about eye autofocus and why it's important and what it does to your portrait photography. Some of the most natural things we do as humans is look each other in the eye. And we also look our animals and our pets in the eye as well to kind of gauge emotion and gauge um, how they're feeling. And with Sony's subject tracking and eye autofocus, the cameras are able to pull out some of the most emotional and excellent detail that you could have. Now we're going to queue up a model video here. And the nice thing about this is you're able to, I mean, Ken, you can kind of join in too in a second, but you'll notice the subject tracking, it tracks the model, and as she spins around, it locks right on her eye. And what that's able to do is create just an amazing photo, even though she's moving. What are your thoughts on that, Ken?
No, I agree. I agree. As she rotates, the camera maintains focus on her head and immediately recognizes the face and goes directly back to the eye. That's what the Sony Eye Autofocus system will do for you. Because I mean, think about it, gang. Your subject is not always standing still. So what a great opportunity for you to take advantage of that technology that we have for you to be able to take great photos.
I agree 100%. And now let's queue up your favorite photo. Um, Take it away.
Yeah, this one is one of my favorite photos. I'm going to call this one the wedding photo. And one of the reasons why I like this particular photo is when you gain an understanding of what your camera is actually doing, the behavior of the camera. Your camera's always looking to focus on the very first thing or the thing closest to the lens. But if you look at this photo, the eye autofocus system has zeroed in on her eye. And as you see the white lace that is framing her face, the first layer of white lace has become blurred. The second layer is in focus along with her face and her eye, which really creates a very different mood, as if it were very different, I think, than if it was all completely in focus. You really understand what the photographer was trying to do for you. So that's one of the reasons why I truly like that particular photo.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, this photo has layers. It's all about layers.
Yeah, a whole lot of layers.
Whole lot of layers. If you know, you know. Next up is to show how we focus on animals. So we have a dog video here. So we're able to queue up, well, actually just an animal video over. Notice how as the dogs and the birds are moving throughout the shot, the eye autofocus tracks the eye and is able to keep the subject in focus, creating some amazing photos. You're kind of able to gain through here. So your dog's about to pop up, boom, love it. Ah, it's just amazing. And before we move on, I just want to do one more animal eye autofocus photo, which is Ziggy, my former dog. Love him. He was the best. You'll notice in this photo, it kind of locks in right on the Ziggy's right eye, and it's able to kind of frame out the photo naturally. So when I look at this photo, I go to his eye, to his cute little button nose, and then those Yoda-like radar ears that were just huge and awesome. And then it's because of the eye autofocus, it creates that beautiful background bokeh, the 85 1.8. This is one of my absolute favorite photos. I truly love it. If you love it as much as I do, or even just kind of like it, give us a comment in the chat. What do we got going on in the chat before we move on to our last topic?
Hey, we've got some really great activity in the chat. Yeah, and team, if you really like that photo of Ziggy, give us a thumbs up. So I have Laurie says, great picture. Love the way it focuses on her face and the blurring technique. Great lens. KP63 says, I need this lens. And I tell you what, KP63, I mentioned earlier that I haven't had a lot of experience with the 85 millimeter, but yeah, I think you and I are on the same page. I also have, wait, I think I just lost it. Wait a minute. No, this was a good one. Yeah, KP63 says foreground blur is just as important as background blur. So, man, that's true. I mean, that wedding photo really says what it does and the advantage of the foreground blur. So yeah, you're exactly right. Once again, I'm agreeing with KP63. We're going out and get that lens, Matt.
I, I I have it. I love it. They sent me an extra one. I don't think they knew I had it, but I mean, I'll send it back maybe. Um, but let's go on to the last topic here. We're going to do camera level or camera positioning. The benefit of this is it can add quite a different feel to your photos. And there's different ways of doing it. You can do it from above. And if you're doing it from above and looking down on your subject, it creates a level of vulnerability, a level of softness maybe to the person, your subject. Or if you go from below and shoot up, it can kind of give your subject a bit of dominance, a bit of power to your photo. And it gives, just adds emotion to the level. Now, the next photo we want to do, aka the duck photo, something that I love. And this is about the importance of shooting straight on and how it can really make a photo do what you want it to do or give you an advantage or give you a vantage point that you could not have achieved otherwise. So let's focus in on this photo. You'll notice the first thing I kind of gravitate to, we all do, is the eye. It has that nice little white glint in it. As we focus down, move down the bill, and you get that constant stream of water as you just came up for a drink. Must have been thirsty that day. I think it was hot if I remember correctly. And the water is kind of a constant stream that goes right back into the lake. And as we kind of pan out, you get this beautiful grayed out background bokeh. It is really just one of my absolute favorites. And the reason I was able to achieve this is because I took my lens with my camera and went straight down almost water level. I was using the articulating screen on the back of the camera to kind of make sure I still had everything framed up the way I wanted it to because I couldn't use the viewfinder. And that's one of my favorite features is that I was able to drop it down, articulate the lens, and capture this great photo. Ken, any thoughts on the photo?
Yeah, Matt. So what I liked about the duck photo is the water dripping from the duck's bill. And the reason why I like that is because it tells the story of that duck, which I think is very different than if you were on the bank of that water and taking pictures of the duck from overhead. You may not have been able to see that. By putting the camera in the right position, as you were mentioning, not only is that duck the center of attention, but the activity you were able to capture, which also tells, I think, a bigger story of that duck photo. So I know it's got layers, but yeah, that's the reason why I like that duck photo as well.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. And before we wrap up, I'd like to check the chat one more time, thanking everyone for adding their comments. What did y'all think of the duck photo?
Yeah, gang, as we begin to round third base, let's take a look at the chat. We've got a lot of great feedback. Shannon says the photo of Ziggy has great texture. Cynthia says very nice photograph. Shannon also mentions definitely multidimensional. So I like that. Wow, I've got a message from Steve that says love the photos. And Steve says Sony, the one and only. That's classic. Right?
Yeah, that is a classic.
I'm not even going to call that old school.
Nope.
That is classic. So
classic
thanks
for sure.
Thanks for coming along for the ride. Capturing the stream of water is beautiful and different things. And I got to tell you, the chat's just blowing up, and I don't know that we'd have enough time to go through all of them. We might need another whole half an hour. So we really do appreciate it. So
no worries. I do appreciate everyone chiming in and giving us their thoughts as well. As we kind of wrap up today, I'd really like to talk about what we went over. So if we cue that up, perfect. Today's recap: portrait photography with prime lenses, obviously with a focus on the 85 to 1.8. It's my personal favorite. I absolutely love it. Animal eye autofocus. Hopefully you saw how Sony's eye autofocus system can really help enhance your photos. And then camera positioning with the last duck photo. It just shows that having your camera positioning and messing around with different levels can really add and change the emotions of your photographs. Now, like Ken was saying, there's a lot going on in the chat. If we didn't answer all your questions or you have one, please feel free to join our one-on-one consultation program. It's free. You can sign up. You get a session with a Sony expert like me, myself, Ken. We have the lovely Derek Olson on the screen there as well. You'll notice him from all of the other YouTube shorts and things Sony does. So we really appreciate Derek for this captivating photo. And Ken, I think you have one more thing for him too, right?
Yeah, man, I do. So if you've recently purchased a Sony product, potentially even one of our Alpha 7 lines of cameras or lenses, please take a moment to register your product. Take advantage of all the perks of registration. That's really, really important to us as we want to make sure that we know who you are. So we're there when you need us. And as we begin to close out, again, on behalf of myself, Matt, our fantastic producer in the background, Mark, thanks. I mean, really, thanks. This really means a lot to us. And if you haven't already done it, once again, please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell, because we want this to be a conversation and not just a download. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is offer some suggestions. You tell us what you'd like us to cover, but here's some suggestions right now that we want to know whether or not you think we should cover these. So first, using external microphones to improve your video. Vlogging tips and tricks. You know, you want to level up your content creation, or do you want to just get better at capturing and vlogging family trips, family photos, and family memories? And finally, flash photography. Hey, that's not anything that we've ever covered. Would you like us to cover that for you? And finally, the wild card. You tell us what you would like us to cover, and we'll see if we can get that back to you. Make sure you smash the notification bell so that you'll know when we have. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you, Ken. Thanks for coming along with the ride. Mark, thank you for driving us in the background as we kind of talk through this and adjust the dial. We really, really, really want to say thank you to anyone who watched. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And hopefully you love your Sony gear as much as we do. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Take care.